Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I've got a video today from a female sovereign citizen that ended up in a pretty bad situation due to her own accord. Her and a friend of hers found a way to get rid of this person's son, put him in the suitcase and left him out in the woods. Not pretty graphic stuff. Her friend has already been sentenced to 25 years, and she is looking forward to 110 years in prison, something like that. Anyway, let's take a look at this news clip.
After being tracked down outside of Los Angeles and brought back to Washington County, the mother of Cairo Jordan was escorted into court Tuesday and smiled at the camera. She's charged with killing her 5-year-old son, whose body was found in a suitcase in a wooded area.
This woman was pretty big on TikTok. She was one of those TikTok Sovcits, which there is an endless supply of them over there. Anyway, she's definitely a sovereign citizen. You're gonna find that out during this news story.
At her first appearance, Dejan Anderson identified herself by a different name.
I am Princess Calipia Hatan Padre II, representing the entity Dejan Anderson.
Anderson also requested to represent herself, telling the judge her master's degree in history will benefit her in this legal process.
If she has a master's degree in history, she is obviously not a stupid person. Maybe insane, not stupid. But she succumbed to this sovereign citizen nonsense, and it has led to the complete destruction of many lives, not only her own.
It's not that I can't afford a lawyer, it's that I want to do self-representation due to I understand the nature of my case, and I understand that this is my life on the line.
The judge denied Anderson's bond after prosecutors argued she was a flight risk and was on the run for 2 years.
I am not a fugitive. I have been under NSA surveillance for the past 8 months, and how can that qualify me as a fugitive on the run when I've also had a detail from Space Force that was following my every move?
So she had a detail from Space Force following her around. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Space Force. It's barely 2 years old, for Christ's sake.
With Anderson's behavior in court, prosecutors were asked if they believe she's competent to stand trial, which the judge tentatively set for August.
That is not an issue that we'll address publicly. That'll be something that will be handled in the courts, if at all.
The prosecution further reserved comment, but court records show a wealth of evidence which they expect to help in the case. This includes home surveillance in the area where Cairo was found, data from nearby cell phone towers, and a confession from co-defendant Dawn Coleman, who was sentenced to 25 years in prison for her role in the 5-year-old's death.
Think about all the facts of this case. It brings up strong emotions, so we're just very happy that she's here, that we can move forward. We're confident, I'm confident personally, that justice will be served in this case, and we just keep looking forward to that day.
From Washington County, Alexis Matthews, WOKY News.
That's a truly disturbing story. This video came out a few weeks ago. The actual crime took place back in 2022, if I got that right. And she went on the run, and they finally caught up to her. They arrested her because she was assaulting a security guard in the store where she was suspected of shoplifting, and that's what got her caught. Anyway, yeah, this is the sovereign citizen movement destroying lives one at a time, and we've seen it so many times before. People involve their children in all this stuff, and the children usually end up suffering for it. In this case, definitely. Anyway, I don't know if the outcome of this has happened yet, or is she still waiting to go to trial. I'm not really sure. I haven't found too much on the case. All old stuff, mostly. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and show the clip of the man who found this child in the suitcase. Let's go right to that.
Tonight, this mother of a little boy who was found dead stepped inside A suitcase is under arrest. She's waiting to be brought back to Indiana.
The arrest came nearly 2 years after a mushroom hunter in southern Indiana made the disturbing discovery. And now tonight, we're hearing from that man for the first time since police arrested Dejon Anderson.
Alyssa Newton from our sister station in Louisville tonight shares his story.
First looking back,
The story began with Jeff.
it still hurts just as bad today as it did 2 years ago. You know?
He's the mushroom hunter who found the young boy in a suitcase on his property.
A fellow shouldn't be treated that way. Ever.
He still keeps up with every update, especially last week's announcement.
You can run, girl, but you can't hide. And now she's got to answer to all the bad things she's done in her life.
In Salem, Indiana, the small town at the heart of a story that's played out for over the last 2 years, seasons change, but sentiments stay the same. It's in this part of rural Washington County, back in 2022, where Cairo Jordan, a young boy, was found dead in a suitcase.
It's still a sorrowful and a somber moment.
But Friday marked the start of a new chapter.
I had a really good feeling.
Watching the press conference on his phone, it's the news Jeff Meredith had been praying for.
Investigators apprehended Dejon Anderson last night without incident in Arcadia, California.
After months of hiding from police, an anonymous tip led officers to Cairo's mother.
I was happy, but yet excited and yet beside myself.
She faces felony charges of murder, neglect of a dependent resulting in death, and obstruction of justice, all in connection with the death of her son.
We did know that this day was going to come.
And that's when I run over and told Cairo at his gravesite.
Flowers and toys still wrap around the little boy's headstone, a spot he's come to many times before.
In my heart, I adopted him as my own. In my heart. And that means a lot to me.
A place where after all this time, many continue to show love for a child they never met. A love that knows no bounds.
But my community that I live in came together and helped an innocent soul that they had no idea who he was and took care of him. Loved him the way he needed to be loved before his death.
This story is still being written. Officers are currently in the process of bringing Anderson back to Washington County. Jeff says
Oh, absolutely.
he'll be watching every moment.
I've got to make sure that justice is really served.
And while there's no guarantee on how this story will end, Jeff knows in his heart how his will.
That makes me happy, knowing that I'm going to die someday, and I'm going to get to speak to that little feller. And I'm going to tell him everything that Washington County done for him.
In Salem.
And why they did.
Alyssa Newton, 13 News.
Wow. My heart goes out to the guy that walked up and found that horrific scene. I can't imagine. I can't imagine what he's gone through. I can't imagine what the kid went through. I don't know the details of how all this happened yet, but it sounds like they're going to get to the bottom of it and have plenty of evidence against her. So anybody out there that supports these sovereign citizen idiots, go fuck yourself. It's crazy. Anyway, I can't say hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Love you. Bye.